30 Thunder tournament for the world title. You know, now we're finally trying to finish up the second round and go how far we can go. We'll see how it all is. So let's get into it. Let's start off with our first match of today, and it will be Wacky versus someone from the NWO. This on Elizabeth. So to follow along the bracket, you can put the link on the bottom. So challenge, same thing we did. Sergeant helping out the chief. The first run-in has happened. Sergeant, who got knocked out of competition in our last video, moving to Veal. Now looks to try to get the chief wins this one. Victory to the chief. Take a Wacky into round number 3, the round of 32. As we go into our next match, and this is a rematch. As it will be Leyland Ma. He's already in a tag team right now because he and Sanders Keel did run-ins for each other. And Sanders Keel helped Leyland advance into this round to take on Raph. see how long I can go on this because that's
Wow.
I can get a couple hours in. Who knows? If I can finish this tournament, it would actually be a blessing. But if we can go a few rounds, if we can get into
Now,
the late rounds of this tournament, would be a good thing. Feeling okay by trying to figure out everything here. I had everything together before I went to work last night, and hopefully there won't be any problems. If we're going to go for the count out, 15 for both of them. Layla and Ma in trouble. He doesn't get back into the ring. Might be game over. They both get back in the ring just at the same time. Death penalty from Wrath. Waylon's in trouble. Wrath be getting his revenge. But it's not going to matter because, well, Waylon's mom's got a tag team partner, and it is Jim Keeley helping out Layla and Ma. It won't matter because, again, Layla and Ma already has a tag team partner. Keeley, on the other hand, does not. He'll have to find his tag team partner in the next tournament when we do the U.S. title tournament. We'll have to hope to get him something. But Layla and Ma is trying to get a comeback thanks to this run-in from Jim Keeley. And he's going to help out Wrath. Glacier is helping out Wrath. So the two hidden wrestlers from WCW versus NWO World Tour have done in run-ins for each other. 30 seconds left. Wrath trying to get back in it. And you've got Glacier helping him. Layla and Ma now back up against the wall. Thanks to Glacier. Like it's gonna be revenge courtesy of Glacier, and Wrath is going to advance on to the next round. 3 seconds. 2, 1, and that is it. Wrath gets his revenge. So Wrath advances on to the next round. And he will get his revenge there after the loss in the big one to Leyland. Leyland is out in the second round. Now we go into a normal match. As NWO versus WCW, as NWO Hollywood's Kurt Hennig takes on Rick Steiner. Trying to figure out my windows and everything here because trying to fix my stream. I don't know why I'm having an unstable stream today.
Power bomb!
Trying to make everything work out. It's just OBS doesn't really want to act okay, and luckily there's no drop frames. That's a good list, but
One, down.
Trying to make sure everything is working.
Pile driver. One, down.
Yeah, we did like recruiter as well last night to make sure I got everything I caught up. This year. This does not affect the stream slash VOD. Well, Kurt Hennig and Rick Steiner on the verge of a count out. Rick Steiner gets into the ring. Hennig's into the ring. He's going to move on. He had a run-in earlier in the form of the Barbarian in his previous round. It's Kevin Nash. Kurt Hennig, on the other hand, has yet to have a run-in. And, well, there you go. Just as soon as I say that, here comes Buff Bagwell. But Rick Steiner is up. Kurt Hennig gets into the ring. That might be the benefactor because now Bagwell's working on Rick Steiner. Hennig looks like he's going to get the count out. Kurt Hennig gets the count out and the win. Rick Steiner is out of here. So for those of you who had certain heels that you want to see go out, guess what? They're all out in the second round. So you've got nothing to worry about for the rest of the tournament. Kurt Hennig takes out the dog-faced gremlin. Thanks to Buff Bagwell. And so now we go into our last match of the second round, and that is going to be a Wacky versus an NWO Wolfpack member, as Robot will take on the Macho Man. Now, Kurt Hennig, I do believe Buff did not get a run-in. Did he get a run-in in his match? Buff got knocked out in the first round, I do believe. He did. He got knocked out by Disco Inferno. He had the Disciple, so no, there's no match in that one. But Macho Man has had a run-in. Lex Luger. He has not done any run-ins, however, otherwise. No. Robot has not done any run-ins, I believe, otherwise either. Let's see. Yeah. You could see someone else run in for Savage, or Robot gets a run. Who will it be? We'll find out. Strength being used. Favorite the Macho Man. I do believe definitely for the finals, but maybe for the semis as well, depending on how everything goes in the rounds before, will be 10 minutes, 60 seconds ring out time.
The Frankensteiner!
Like they're going to be here. The center out. The Savage gets in. Robot does not. Well, now Robot gets in. He was almost close to not getting in, and he wisely got in there just when Savage came out. Notice, I was picking Layla Ma earlier in the last round, and here comes Mantis. Mantis is coming out to help out Robot. Mantis is going to be in a next round matchup against Veal. Is now going to add another potential tag team partner candidate to help his cause. But Macho Man's got his number. Little freeze there, but now it got itself out of it. Sometimes it does that with how the game plays, but now it's back to work. Up Savage.
Taking a beating.
Got him, but then walks right into Mantis. The Mantis speed equalizer. Hasn't really worked out. Hasn't really got much moved in. But now we're going to try to slow down Savage so Robot can get some life back, which he's just doing a little bit there. Test the strength there from Robot. Still a little behind. As now Mantis leads the ring. Savage gets counters out of it. Head scissors.
Mantis today.
Robot still trying to talk. I'm not sure if he gets his life back. I haven't really got a chance to test today, but this is just one of those off the pants snipers. Listen, I had this plan for a while. I was hoping that I was afraid over the risk of not being able to do the stream, but luckily that was nothing to worry about, and we were able to get the stream going. All about windows of opportunity, and if you can get it, take it. Now gets right out of the ring. They're getting close to the time limit. 20 seconds plus to go. As Savage taunts. We so far not had any pinfall wins or finisher wins or submission wins. Well, submission wins we count as finisher wins because, well, the only way you can submit is if you have a submission finisher, which neither of these two have. And Savage gets it. And Savage will advance on to round number 3 and takes out Robot. And so that will conclude round number 2. And now we head into round number 3. I don't know why challenge has been not working up to snuff this morning. As we'll have a wacky versus another wacky. Here we go. Versus another real wrestler. As Arjun Varj You'll notice that I have Sanders Keel here as a horseman. I actually put a code in. There is codes to modify the factions, which is something I know has been people have been wondering about doing, and I actually found it. I also found a way to move the championship belts from different wrestlers without having to play through the tournament modes. So I can do is after this tournament is completed, I can go in and I could switch the belt to whoever the winner of this tournament is. I could also switch whoever is paired up, tag team partners, and anyone who's been eliminated, and go put them into lesser factions. Which right now there's only one THQ wrestler left now that Layla Na got knocked out, and that one is Dave Hoffman. Hoffman, who won his match against Eric Bischoff in the second match. He looks like to face Reese in this one. But other than that, there is no more THQ guys left in the tournament. DDP wants to take out another lackey, Arjun Barge. There is still a few lackeys still in. Arjun Barge, we just saw the Sheik win the first match of the stream. Cowboy is also here. We've got Mantis, of course. We've got Adam. We've got Snuff. And that's really it. WCW counts, now you could basically, DDP is one of the handful of WCW wrestlers still in this tournament as well. And hopes to take out Arjun Barge. And guarantee a real wrestler matchup in the next round, because the next match will feature two world wrestlers in another WCW versus NWO match. Arjun Barge trying to stay alive here.
Yeah.
Arjun Barge has had a couple of run-ins, DDP as well, but have they ran in another competitor's matchup? Not. So, they're accumulating a lot of potential candidates. Unfortunately for Arjun Barge and DDP, none of those candidates are still in competition. Phil Hardin, Squire, Rick Fuller, and Booker T are all eliminated earlier in the tournament. Phil Hardin got eliminated in the second round by Calvin. Arjun Barge trying to keep life up without having to rely on a run-in. DDP starting him out of combat. He and Arjun Barge both won their previous matches by pinfall. Arjun Barge actually won both matches by pinfalls. Here comes Starfish to help out Arjun Barge. And Goldberg is coming in to help DDP. So the first time we're seeing Goldberg doing a run in here today. He got knocked out in the first round courtesy of Bobby the Brain Hughes. Now we've got a couple of runners at the same time. We've got 4 competitors all fighting it out. DDP's in trouble thanks to Starfish. Arjun Barge also in a little bit of trouble thanks to Goldberg.
Taking enough
Arjun
eating.
Barge might get counted out. It looks like he's real close to the count as DDP does the bang. DDP gets the win thanks to Goldberg. See about that one. Advance is on to the round of 16. Another count-out victory for this round as we go into our next matchup. And this is a real wrestler versus a real wrestler, except one of the real wrestlers is all the way back here, and that is Johnny Grunge of Public Enemy. And he will take on the NWO Hollywood Scott Hall. Johnny Grunge has had a run in his match. The previous matches, Canyon did a run in. Canyon obviously out of competition. Now, Scott Hall has not had a run yet. He could have anybody, so who knows? From NWO Hollywood. Now, Johnny Grunge could have Glacier. If he gets Glacier, he'll be a tag team partner. So there is that. There is a potential spot if Johnny Grunge gets Glacier as he's running. He could actually bump out his fellow Public Enemy member Rocco Rock out of Kansas. Effectively breaking up the Public Enemy. Scott Hall doesn't care about any of that. His spot, one of the couple, actually he and Kurt Hennig are a couple of the NWO Hollywood members still in. I do not think there's anybody else from NWO Hollywood still in the tournament. There is not. So Scott Hall would like to cup the fight. Grunge in trouble now. Scott Hall really getting his shots in. Can Grunge make a run into him? Rey Mysterio Jr. coming in to help out Johnny Grunge. As Scott Hall was beating Grunge with the belt, but it might be in trouble. Scott Hall, he doesn't get back in the ring, he's going to be done. He's not. Johnny Grunge takes out Scott Hall, and that means there's only one NWO Wolfpack, one of the NWO Hollywood member still in the tournament, and that is going to be Kurt Hennig. That is an upset. Scott Hall going down to Johnny Grunge. Public Enemy staying alive. As we go into our next match, and this is a all WCW match from the front end. The front end 64. As it will feature Larry Zbyszko against Saturn. Another round that we get to hear the ripoff of You Got Another Thing Coming. And you can see I put the Larry Zbyszko spelling that it was in game. The funny thing is, it is actually spelled that way in Revenge. Revenge actually spells it the same way. I mean, I know it's not the correct way, but it's what they did. The original image of that was spelled completely wrong. I actually used the tag team image, which actually spelled correctly. Same thing with Juventud Guerrera, as I mentioned before. His name was spelled really wrong. Guerrera was what they were spelling Guerrera's name instead of what it's supposed to be spelled. Zbyszko has not hit a run-in yet. Actually, he did. He had Rick Fuller. He also did run in for Ernest Miller and Iron Mike Tenay, so there is a chance for a tag team partner. Saturn did a run-in for Sonny Ono. Actually, correction, it's that Scott Hall did not get a run, and he actually did. He had a run for Rick Rude. Rick Rude got knocked out by Saturn in the second round.
Saturn is working it.
As here comes Canyon. Who is Canyon helping, though?
Pile driver.
Canyon is helping out Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko gets back in the ring. And Larry Zbyszko wins it, thanks to Canyon. Another countout decided. As Larry Zbyszko takes out Saturn. As now we go into a match of, well, let's just say doppelganger-ish. As it will be Cowboy versus Jamie the Learned. So it'll be a Wacky versus an Inlander. There's only a handful of Inlanders left. This is one of them. You also have Veal, and we also have the infight a little later on with Wrestling Matt and Zumi. So we're guaranteed an Inlander in the round of 16. That Wrestling Matt versus Zumi match will be a infight. You can pretty much see, look at these two faces, they're very much similar. It's just alter ego. And we get a pinfall. Now the only way this match can be decided is that I can get this one extra point goes by a pinfall. These two do not have finishes because they are back 64. Backhand 64. Don't think we saw the Saturday night set yet that I made. I retextured the old Thunder Arena into the Saturday night arena. I am also working on trying to retexture that into the Nitro Arena. I'm going to try, because right now I can't seem to, I would like to be able to replace the Turbo Arena with the, and port the Nitro Arena from the Nitro PlayStation game into Thunder. but I know there's a lot of things with that, and nobody seems to help me as far as importing models can be, and as far as importing models is concerned. I've been lucky to find out ways to be able to rename these wrestlers on screen and on the menus with the hex editor, but as far as models and anything concerned, I might be reluctant to get to extract, to export some models, but not import. If I could, or try to be able to overwrite models, whether it be the wackies, into regular bodies, to be able to make the different WCW talent as the back end, like kind of the jobbers. The Saturday night talent, if I don't get to have finished. Unless Ric Flair, I would like to see if I can swap Ric Flair from Nitro into Fun. And subsequently also port some of the WCW talents in this game, like Prince Iakea and Public Enemy and Glacier into Thunder, into Nitro, as Jamie DeLearn gets the win here over Cowboy. So in Inlander is advancing on. And Cowboy is done. Well, one wacky is out. But hey, there's a lot of wackies. We still got a bunch of them coming up. And as a matter of fact, one of them is coming up in this match against an inland, quote-unquote inland talent, but not just any inland talent. It's the big, mean Veal. Literally larger than life. And Mantis is going to fight for all humanity and all the wackies to take down Gorilla, to take down Veal, who took down Gorilla, who took down Sergeant. Now Mantis, who had to take down Uncle Monkey and had to go through Astronaut to get to Veal. The runner-up of the Melee tournament, trying to keep their hopes alive. But the challenge is not unlike any other. But Mantis does have an array of folks that can do running that can help his cause. And can also make a tag team partner. How many, you ask? Let's see. We saw him interfere for Robot. We saw him interfere for Short Circuit. Saw him interfere for...
Chicken butt.
Wow, Short Circuit. Looks like the only other person when he referred to it. He's really too. But yay, might be more. But he would definitely help to keep him alive.
Taking a beating.
But right now, Veal has got destroying Mantis. Veal's also won his matches by pinfall. He's looking to add another one. And he destroys Mantis. If Mantis can't stop this monster, who can? So our runner-up of the Melee tournament, Veal, trying to make a case of saying that loss in the Melee tournament in the second round was a fluke. And he wants to win the gold here in WCW Thunder. Now we go into a manager versus the Nitro Girls match, as it will be the Mount of the South Jimmy Hart against one of the two Nitro Girls still in, and that is Che. So unfortunately for Mantis, they're gonna have to wait for the Thunder next tournament for the U.S. title to maybe get a chance at that. Now I am pondering something. If I should, whoever wins the titles, if they should be omitted from the other tournaments. So if you win the world title, you are not eligible for the U.S. or TV titles. You'll still be eligible for the tag titles. That'll be everybody. But the U.S. and TV titles, you would no longer be eligible. Same thing with whoever wins the U.S. title, they would not be eligible for the TV title tournament. I would like to put a poll out there for any who are watching the stream live or watching the VOD on the stream on Twitch or YouTube. And reach out to me on my Blue Sky Wrestle Sim, and you can or leave a comment on the video and let me know if I should do that, if I should omit anybody who wins the tournament from other tournaments. And this also applies to any of the other games. It applies to my other tournaments, whether it be my Backstage Assault one that's coming up or my WCWnWo one that I'll be. Obviously, both of them will be after these Thunder tournaments are completed. Then I've got Mayhem and I've got Nitro. Nitro's a little bit more of a... Mayhem and Nitro are a little bit more, got a little more work to do because they don't have belts and anything like that. Well, Mayhem, you'd have to do pay-per-view mode and you have to figure out how to make the codes. And I know I have a page on how to make the codes thanks to one of the developers of EA. So it's a very complex thing with that. Meng is coming in, and who is Meng helping? Is he helping Chai? Yes, he is. So Meng is coming to the aid of Chang to try to take care of Jimmy Hart. Now, Meng got knocked out in the first round. Then incidentally enough, Meng also helped out Fire in her match. So, maybe Meng likes the Nitro Girls. Trying to make some moves, I see, I guess. He helped out Fire, and now he's helping out Meng. He's helping out Chad. Then Miji Okerlund helped Meng out in his match, but it didn't work out, hence why Meng got knocked out of competition. Lost to, I believe, Steve McMichael. Back to the ring, yep. Now, Chase does not have a finish, as Jimmy Hart does. Jimmy Hart, and here comes Prince Iakea helping out Jimmy Hart. Prince Iakea is still in the tournament. He's going to be facing Dean Malenko later. And now he's going to help out the Mouth of the South. So, maybe Prince Iakea will get a candidate. Yes, I confirmed that Mango did lose to Steve Mongo McMichael. Well, Jimmy Hart now is a potential tag team partner in Prince Iakea to see if that comes through when Prince Iakea takes on the Iceman. Well, we got only one pinfall, and that, of course, is Veal. Still enough, Jimmy Hart's current run-ins were 5th in the tie versus Prince Iakea. And right now, the only one that's a candidate to be a potential tag team partner that's still in is Iakea. As Shay does the Vic Steiner dog work. What? I wonder if that's due to the fact that where they are on the back half page, if whoever is where they are, they'll get that wrestler's taunt. Hence why Flair would do the Hogan pose and Jimmy Hart will get the win. So one Nitro Girl is out of here in Che. That leaves it all to Fire. Left to fight for the Nitro Girls, as it will be Veal versus Jimmy Hart in the next round. Jimmy Hart's going to try to be the big hero to stop Veal. We'll see how that works out. But now we're going to go into a wacky matchup, as Adam will take on who defeated Ric Flair in the last round. No. So it'll be a wacky infight between these two. These two did not have any run-ins. That is something I do notice. Adam has ran in for others. He's ran in for Wireframe. He's ran in for Bessie. Stuff, on the other hand, has not ran in for anybody. He's drawn from a fresh deck. Can Adam, what's up? He will come out on top and advance on it.
Now.
Strength between the two. So, a lot of matches are going to the time limit as well. That's something I have noticed. Either time limit or count. Nope, trying to mount a comeback. Where Adam tosses him out of the ring. Nope, tried to throw the water bottle at Adam, but then Adam had the title belt and got a lot in there. Couldn't even get a Frankensteiner correctly. The way the hitbox is. You can tell how weird this is. This stuff's gonna make a call for a run and he's gonna get down to the wire. Probably the best time to do it. Save himself from defeat. Adam gets back in the ring. Snuff better get back into the ring. Snuff gets in the ring just in the nick of time. He still got himself a match. Snuff trying to get some life back. Still it's time for him to call running. It's out of two. Snuff surviving there for a little bit. Adam gets the pin. Adam advancing on. He gets 2 points. Our second pinfall of the tournament. Thanks to Adam. So Adam's still in. Snuff will be seeing for the U.S. title tournament next time around. Now, we go into a match that is another back half announcer versus a flock member. Our first of 2 flock members still in. As Billy Kidman will take on someone who is right now one of the more popular competitors in this tournament by beating Hollywood Hogan in the last round and helping eliminate Chris Jericho, and that is Tony Schiavone, who did a run-in on the Bobby Heenan Chris Jericho match and helped the Brain unseat Jericho. But now he's got to face Kidman, trying to keep his end spot in lock alive. Schiavone has had a run in the form of the park that Kidman has not had a run in yet. I don't think Kidman has ran in anybody's matches either. Obviously, we saw Schiavone run into Bobby Heenan's match. We're getting close to the count out. Looks like Kidman is going to lose this match just like that. Tony Schiavone advancing on, making quick work of Kidman. Just like that. So, Schiavone advancing on another round. Really showing his stuff. As now we got another manager versus Nitro Girl match we talked about before. Jimmy Hart took care of Che. Now it's going to be Sonny Ono taking on the last Nitro Girl. Still in competition, and that is Fire. Now Sonny Ono. Now Fire's made a few appearances in this tournament. We saw her help out Chris Jericho. Sonny Ono we saw yet to make any run-ins, but he has had help in Saturn. So if he can get a run in and maybe if he can get a run in and it helps him win the match, it would help the score. So maybe get another candidate, especially if it's someone who's still in, like a DDP or Johnny Grudge. Or Tony Schiavone. Tony's still in.
Steiner! Now.
Fire getting a couple Frankensteiners in there to try to chip away at the lead at Sonny Ono. As we are trucking through this third round. So now we're into the stream, and hopefully if everything's working okay. I don't really have anybody watching the stream live, unfortunately. I just tweeted and posted about it on Blue Sky. You know, it's a Friday morning, who knows how things are going to be. As Fire's got the 2% milk. Or maybe it's skim, maybe it's 1%, maybe it's whole milk, who cares. But Sonny Ono gonna have his work cut out to try to catch up to Fire. Might need to call a run in as they do the mind games. In and out, in and out, and in and out. More mind games. Body scissors from Sonny Ono. Sonny actually won his first round match with a submission and he used the Texas Cloverhold. Fire does not have any finishers or any moves because she's part of the back half. Here comes the run in. Who is it? It's AC Jazz coming in to help out Fire. So Nitro Girls still in. AC Jazz at least comes in at the right time. Well, actually, no. Yes, actually, she is helping. She is helping Fire. Kind of odd when Sonny Ono's been the one who's been back against the wall. Does anyone help Sonny Ono? As the Nitro Girls continue to beat them. Rey Mysterio Jr. coming in to help Sonny Ono. To try to even the odds, Sonny Ono, a potential new manager in Rey Mysterio Jr. A new wrestler to manage, excuse me, from Rey Mysterio Jr. Sonny Ono still back against the wall thanks to AC Jazz and Fire. The Nitro Girls really ganging up on him. He wants to get his life back. Fire gets a backbreaker on Rey Mysterio. Signing from Mysterio as he heads for the hills. Sonny Ono goes up top. Nope. Goes up again. Nobody home. Taunt. 5 seconds to go. It's out of 2. Fire's gonna try to keep Nitro Girls' hopes alive into the round of 16, barring anything else happening. Room ball, 1, 2, count. Looks like it's gonna be Fire advancing on. Well, Nitro Girl still in, courtesy of Fire. Now, as I continue to have problems with Challenge being slow today, I don't know why it's an issue. We go into, now who beat Chris Jericho in the last round. Another manager still in, and we saw one manager go down, we saw one manager win in Jimmy Hart. Now Bobby Heenan's going to take on Psychosis. Both of them have had run-ins. Have they done run-ins in other matches? We know Bobby Heenan did a run-in for Rey Mysterio Jr. Psychosis did a run-in for Barbarian. And there's our Saturday night stage. I'm going to work on trying to make this into a Nitro stage as well, and maybe alternate back and forth between Nitro and Saturday night once we get actively into a regular show-by-show thing. By the way, Psychosis also helped Ultimo Dragon. It didn't work out for Ultimo though. Maybe Ultimo will return the favor. Maybe Tony Schiavone will return it. Maybe Jimmy Hart will return it. Well, actually, Tony Schiavone and Jimmy Hart or help out Bobby before. Rey Mysterio helps out. That's another ball. Rey comes in and gets even with Psychosis, and it's Bobby Heenan and Rey Mysterio's tag team. Who knows? We're already 1 hour into the show, and hopefully it will all work out in the end. I think we can shut off this voice, hopefully that will
Now.
Sonny Ono's supposed to do this after the show, not during. As here comes Rick Fuller. Yeah. Nail in the Coffin by Heenan. Looks like the Michinoku driver. As, yeah, it says WrestleDev has joined me in the chat finally. And it's now Rick Fuller helping out Psychosis. Hopefully the video is working okay down there if you're watching it. I know I'm getting unstable as my little thing on my Twitch, even though it looks like everything's okay on the OBS, but hopefully, you know, I don't know why today's just been weird, my internet and everything. But I am planning on, like I said, making this stage for the Nitro, for the US title, try to turn it into a Nitro stage. I mean, I'm trying to use certain clips from the Nitro Arena. As Psychosis wins this one and takes down Bobby Heenan. So Bobby, who lost to Jericho, who beat Jericho, goes down to Psychosis. So Psychosis advances on, and right now he'll get himself a match against Fire. As we continue on through the round of 32, we go into now our inland infight. We know Jamie DeLearned is going to be in. We know Veal's going to be advancing, but now there's only room for one more of these, and it's only out of these two, as Wrestling Matt will take on Zumi. Now, both of them do have run-ins, and incidentally enough, they both ran in for each other's matches. Zumi actually did a run-in for Wrestling Matt. Now, if by that logic, if Zumi wins, then Wrestling Matt has a chance to do a run-in for him. Now, looking over where they went as far as other run-ins, besides the fact that Zumi did a run-in for Wrestling Matt, who he's wrestling right now. Huh. They have not ran in for anybody else. I did have to put up a save state there because, again, when we have inlanders, there's always a chance that 5 o'clock Tony can do a run-in, and that would freeze the game. So I want to make sure that if we have a 5 o'clock Tony run-in, that if I have to default back, hopefully it doesn't happen in this match. As Zumi starts beating up on Wrestling Matt. Is going to go down to the wire. It looks like that Zumi is going to advance on, and he does. Oh, there's a chance that Wrestling Matt can do a run-in for Zumi in the next round and establish him as a tag team. And now we go into a match. Yeah, I didn't see that. I've been jumping back and forth on these things, trying to make sure my challenge is working just right, because it's been a little freezy today. I don't know why. But it will be Prince Iaukea taking on one of the couple of Horsemen members still in, and that is Dean Malenko. Yeah, Zumi wanted to join in American Males. Looked like he wanted to join American Males, and the Weasel got robbed. Oh well. Yep, and Ted Turner will never financially recover from this. You know what? When we gotta give it more life, we gotta keep pushing it. Because at the end of the day, this game, thanks to these codes with the computer versus computer, as well as now finding that I have the code to change the faction. Because I was able to actually change. If I get some tag teams that are established, especially if they're Wackies or Inlanders or THQ guys, I'm going to move them to one of the lesser, one of the other factions to try to keep them away from continuously doing run-ins and slowing down any chances of making tag teams. I did that earlier with Sanders Keel. I actually made Sanders Keel a horseman. Hopefully he doesn't do a run-in and muck up this, but we'll see how it all plays out. If the horsemen still win, then we still got Mongo as well. If he's going to be coming up. With Dean Malenko, who does not have any run-ins right now. Nope, he does not. Prince Iakea has. He had Rocco Rock. But as we saw, Prince Iakea did do a run-in for Jimmy Hart. Malenko has not done any run-ins. He only 4 horsemen, and Flair had Arn Anderson, and nobody came in for Double A, and Benoit had Mongo, so there's a chance for me to get Benoit Mongo tag team, or we can go to Hoyle if Benoit does a run-in. Arn obviously did a run-in for Mongo. But nobody's ran in for the Iceman yet. Let alone has anybody as the Iceman ran in for anybody else. So we'll see how things play out here. Malenko, who took out Spice in the first round. Sorry, WrestleDev, I had to bring that up again. But now Malenko trying to get back the momentum to swing back his way. We're going to see if Prince Iakea take down Prince Iakea. Rock's here. Spinebuster.
One.
And one count. I gotta figure out a way to back toward Prince Iakea into Nights. Maybe use him to like replace like Ecto or Buzz or something like that. Evil or Andy May or something like that. I don't know. Sorry. Maybe I could find something unless there was anything. I don't know. Not made much. As here comes, I believe that is Doug Dillinger is coming in to help out Prince Iakea. Was anyone going to help out the Iceman? Ultimately, it's going to have to happen because the way Malenko's getting double teamed now, well, we get the stab suplex there on Dillinger. Yeah, Sanders killed. What was that again about bring up what? You mentioned about something I said earlier. Yeah, the Super Bowl arena and this arena looks really good. The Road Wild arena. I wish that they would put like a Tron in like the mountains. This is the only arena that doesn't have a Tron around the arena. Like even the Thunder Arena and Night Arena. Yeah. Yeah, that's clever to make the Berwyn Eagles Club in Thunder. That's actually pretty cool.
One.
You got a 1. I can't. Oh, here comes Arn Anderson. Double A coming in to help Dean Malenko. So another Arn Anderson who's doing run-ins for Flair, Mongo, and now Arn Anderson. Too bad he's out of the tournament right now. But he fits in a good position for when we do the U.S. title tournament that, hey, there's potential candidates. He's probably got himself a few candidates to do run-ins from him. But now, Arn Anderson, the Horsemen, trying to mount the comeback to keep one of their own alive. And it looks like it's going to happen as Malenko is going to get the win. Well, that's one Horseman still alive. Challenge continues to give me problems, and Google Chrome. I don't know why. We go to the other horseman still in, as this is a normal match. Mongo takes on one of the two NWO Wolfpack members still in. That is Conan. Because Macho Man is also still in. So we get this. Mongo just a pawn in Challenge of Life. As we know, Mongo did interfere for Chris Benoit. Conan, however, has interfered for Sting.
Steiner!
I believe. No. No, Sting actually did a run-in for Conan. Conan has not done a run-in for anybody. That's actually the other way around.
Sure.
So, who knows? Maybe you can get a Randy Savage run-in, and there's a chance for Randy Savage to get a run-in, get Conan to return the favor. Who knows?
Now.
We didn't get that many run-ins from NWO Wolfpack members. Savage got a run-in, Conan got a run-in, Luger did not get a run-in, Sting did not get a run-in, and Nash did not get a run-in. Kinda odd.
Now. One. Now. One. Now.
Maybe one day I'll put Cisco in the Wolfpack. When I actually get these tournaments, when I actually do get my Sims and I need to get to a point where, you know, faction switching needs to happen, then maybe I will. Or then again, maybe there's a chance that we could, because there's an odd number of competitors in the Wolfpack, maybe we will, if everything goes to Hoyle and nobody in the WCW, well, I probably would move whoever's in the Wolfpack into, or whoever's in the Horseman, and maybe pair those up first. Who knows? I'll figure out where they're going to go. As we got a run in. Who is that? Oh, it's Sanders Keel coming in for Mongo. Yeah, because I said Sanders Keel is a horseman. But Conan will win it, and that's one horseman down. Mongo's out. Yeah, that was the reason why Sanders Keel did a run-in, was because he was a horseman. But now he's out, so we go into our last THQ competitor still in versus our last flock member. So someone is going to be eliminated. A faction's going to be eliminated here, and actually will now move Sanders Keel into one of these factions. Either we'll move him back into THQ with Dave Hoffman, or I'll make him a flock member with Reese. So I'm going to actually take Sanders Keel out of the Horsemen and move him to one of the other factions. I'll activate that code. Yeah, because Kidman's also out. So it's only down to Reese to keep up the flock. The big man. Dave Hoffman, who took out Eric Bischoff and Brian Adams, took out two NWO Hollywood members in previous rounds. And now he's got a flock member. Reese has not done it. I don't think Reese has done any run-ins. So neither of these two have had did a run-in in other matches, but they have gotten run-ins in the form of King Healy and Van Hammond. Now, unfortunately for Dave Hoffman, there is nobody left that are THQ guys, so he's on his own. He can only set the tone for future tournaments. Reese, on the other hand, and the same thing you can say for Reese, because Reese has nobody left. These two are only down to themselves. The only thing that it will confirm is that I get to move Leyland, I do Sanders Steele and Leyland Ma out of the stable. Matter of fact, that reminds me. So then neither of them can have to interfere for Dave Hoffman. As Reese throws him over the top rope, now he's got the baseball bat. I'm hoping that I can be able to finish this. I'm going to see how far I can go. I've got a time window. Uncertain of how long it's going to be. Which it can be hopefully a few hours. We'll see. Enough time to finish the tournament. And it looks like Reese is going to get the dub. And THQ is out. So that means that Bruce Sanders peels back into THQ. So Reese is out. Actually, Dave Hoffman's out. As we go into our next match. As it will be a wacky, I do believe. It will be the Chief. I'm sure I put my thing in challenge right now. That's what THQ said. Sanders Keel is out. Everybody was pretty much out until they became THQ Nordic. As it will be the Chief, or the Wackies, taking on Wrath, who comes off the victory over Leyland Ma, who was the other THQ representative in their rematch from the Melee tournament. And now Wrath is moving on to this round to take on a Wacky. Now, run-ins can get Zoot Suit, get Tiffany Payne. Actually, you can get Tiffany Payne, not Zoot Suit. Tiffany Payne had Zutsu and the Chief do run-ins for him.
Vertical suplex.
I don't think anybody else has done running for anybody else. And Wrath obviously has not either. Tiffany Payne does a run-in, establish a tag. We're down to our last couple of matches in the final 32. We're already down to 16.
Bomb.
Yeah, I mean, right now we'll see how things play out, but I know definitely the finals I'm going to up it to a 10-minute time limit, and it's going to be 60-second ring out. I might do it with the semifinals. It all depends on how these rounds go. And so far, we're just finishing up the third round. It's going to be tough to call. I'm also planning that once I get with these tournaments will be on Twitch, will be live streamed for Twitch. But when I actually start the simming and doing the all these events in the sim format, there are going to be a few shows that I'm just going to do as YouTube VODs and not as live streams. Like the pay-per-views, like the quote-unquote pay-per-view shows will be live, but like some of the like lesser shows, like if I do a Saturday night or maybe do a Sunday, those probably will be taped. Will be taped VODs, and then like maybe Nitro and The Thunder can be, some Thunders can be live, but all Nitros is able to be live VOD. It's just trying, or maybe just do all the televisions as case and just do the big shows as live on Twitch and turn them to VODs. Who knows? But that's all a working on. These are all just ideas I'm brainstorming on for the time. Oh, give him a low blow called the Grapes of Wrath. Grapefruit. The weapon, yeah, it's got the pool stick. Billiard stick. Is it going to be time for a run-in? Death penalty, courtesy of Wrath. Here comes the run-in. Which wackey's it going to be? It's Cowboy. Cowboy's got help coming into it. Cowboy got knocked out by Jamie the Learned. It's not coming to help the Chief take down Wrath. Wrath's in trouble. And that's going to do it. Wacky is advancing on. Cowboy. Cowboys and Chiefs. I figure I'd say Cowboys and Chiefs and not the original name. Again, this is a game that came out in 1998, and sometimes things were okay back then, not so much in 2026. As now we go into a normal match between two NWO members. One from Hollywood in Kurt Hennig, and one from Wolfpack, Randy Savage. Incidentally enough, for like a cup of coffee, Kurt Hennig was a member of the Wolfpack before turning and joining back to Hollywood. As a new FMV gives a little more time to load for the Macho Man. One of two Wolfpack members still in. Now Kurt Hennig, I believe, is the last Hollywood member still in. But Scott Hall lost to Johnny Run. Yes. So the last NWO Hollywood member trying to stay alive is Kurt Hennig against one of the two Wolfpack members still alive in the Macho Man. Right now, we only know in the next round we've got WCW, WCW Inland, a lot of WCW Inland, a couple of Wacky versus WCW. Inland versus Horseman, Wolfpack versus Flock, and we're going to have a Wacky face for winning this match. Will we still see NWO Hollywood be represented by Kurt Hennig? Or will he meet the THQ crew outside looking in? Hennig has a potential run-in candidate that could establish a tag team, and that being in the form of Scott Norton. Savage should get to have it. Well, Savage has not let anybody else's matches, but now it looks like here comes with that Buff Bagwell. Once again, it doesn't work. And Buff Bagwell was late to the party, and unfortunately Buff Bagwell, NWO is out. Hollywood, that is out. As now we go into the round of 16. As it will be DDP. It's a WCW in-fight with one in the front half and one in the back half. Johnny Grunge, who's been really making his way through this and has been knocking out some big hitters. Knocked out Scott Hall in the last round. Knocked out Bret Hart in round number 2. Yeah, he beat Rebecca Higginbottom in the first round, taking out the Nitro Girl. But he's got himself some big hitters ever since. Taking out the Headman, taking out an NWO Hollywood member, and now gets to face DDP. DDP defeated Dynamite Johnny, got a pinfall win over Doug Dellinger, and beat Arjun Bard. Johnny Grunge actually got a pinfall victory over Whisper, over Rebecca Hickenbottom, aka Whisper. DDP would have actually got a bonus point to hit the Diamond Cutter in Jordan, because he hit the Diamond Cutter at one point during the match, but didn't go for a pinfall, and unfortunately kind of put himself at basically left the point on the table that he would have gotten if he would have pinned on Dellinger after the Diamond Cutter, instead of waiting in for a couple more moves and then hitting it. On the verge of another countout.
Frankensteiner!
Between DDP and Johnny Grunge. And a DDP's gotta watch out. He's real close to the edge. And the countout. Gotta get back in before Johnny Grunge gets back in. Grunge is back in. And DDP gets back in just in the nick of time. We still got a match. With Rick Rude, Kurt and Wolfpack was a horrible fit. Yeah. Like, they did that. I think they did with Scott Hall as well in the very beginning, if I remember correctly.
Power bomb!
Scott Hall, I thought, was going to join the Wolfpack, and then he kind of swerved on his. Those three were doing well in the answer against each other. They were like, Scott Hall being drunk. That was all swerved until I was all swerved at Starcade where Scott the cage there in Golden. Canada coming, Johnny Grunge near the edge. We might see if it gives you a run from Grunge. Someone's going to come to his aid. He and Grunge both get back into the ring. With the Steiner from Page. Can you get a pinfall? 1, 2. Got a pinfall. 10 points for DDP. Stop the momentum of Johnny Grunge. So, and then DDP, a believable contender to be a champion before he actually became the World Heavyweight Champion in real life. As now we go into our next match, it will be WCW announcer Larry Zbyszko against Inland developer. Make sure I save this so it won't bite on me. Jamie DeLearned. Jamie DeLearned, who's done run-ins for Zumi. So maybe Zumi will do a run-in for Jamie DeLearned. Maybe make himself a tag team partner. Don't think Jamie DeLearned did any run-ins for anybody else. But Larry Zbyszko did run-ins for Ernest Miller, Iron Mike Cadet. Chance that one of those two could do a run-in here. Maybe those two do a run-in here, establish tag team. I know logistically it would make sense for Mike Cadet, being that they were the Thunder announcers in 1999. When Bobby Heenan and Shivani were doing Nitro. Scott Kurt last week, Zbyszko wrote himself into the Wolfpack as their prison bitch. Yeah, I know, that usually has happened when it was like, I think it was like the Outsiders, they have Disco dancing behind them. There was a few times they were doing that on WCW television. As Jamie learned beating away at Zbyszko. Bisco might need to call for a run-in at some point if he wants to keep himself in the mix with the mic stand and microphone attack there from Jamie Delern. Here comes Kimberly Page. As Jamie Delern gets into the ring, can Zbyszko get in the ring? Gets in the ring just in time. Still got on X, and now Kimberly. He got knocked out in the first round. Now coming to the aid of Larry Zbyszko. Try to keep WCW alive. Take down this inland developer. Funny thing is, Kimberly is helping Larry Zbyszko. DDP is awaiting the winner of this match. The ironic that Kimberly is helping someone who feels can beat DDP. Or she can lose to DDP. As who is that? I think, can't see it's an inland.
Taking a beating.
Going for the camera to swing around. It might be Dude Man. Can't see the face. Or John. It's John. And Larry Zbyszko gets the win. John can't help him out. Unfortunately for Jamie Delern, John was not enough. But Zbyszko is advancing on. So it will be Zbyszko versus DDP in the next round. In the round of 8. Or is it round of 8? I don't remember where we are. I believe we're in the round of 8. Yeah, we're in the round of 8. This is the round of 16. As now we go into our next inland developer. Quote unquote. More of a monster. That is Veal. As he will take on the Mouth of the South. And we'll do the round of 18 next time. Has not needed a run-in at all because he can handle everything by himself. Jimmy Hart has done run-ins for others, as we mentioned. He did a run-in for Bobby Heenan. WCW Town beat Veal, the opponent. He rated it in the Melly tournament. Well, this is the only way you can probably beat this giant of a man. Animal. Kick out of kill, Jimmy Hart getting out of it. Suplex. Time for Jimmy to throw a run in. Yeah, we're not going to get him here. Get out. Here it comes. Who is it? Johnny Grunge. Coming to the aid of Jimmy Hart.
One.
And it doesn't work. Feel another pinfall victory. Johnny Grunge couldn't get anything in. So unfortunately, Jimmy Hart falls to Veal. I'm almost wondering if Veal wins this whole thing. I'm pretty sure most likely it would make the best sense to omit him from any other tournament. The way he's been basically running roughshod over everybody. I think that'll probably make sense. And if I do that, then I'm probably going to get to, that'll be my way to basically bump 5 o'clock Tony out of here as well, because he would break the game. And not even break the game, because he's known to break the game, and it would also mean that we would want to give 2 wrestlers buys in the first round. One wrestler a buy, and another wrestler getting basically the lucky break. Rather have whoever, you know, rather have one, just give him the second round. Why waste the time? As here's Adam against Tony Schiavone. Wacky versus WCW. Schiavone, who comes off the win over Hogan, comes off helping Jericho, even though it didn't work for Heenan against Lugosis. And now he's got to take down Adam, who just beat Snuff. By pinfall, he beat Benji in the last round, round number 2. And in round number 1,
Vertical
he
suplex.
beat Starfish. So he's beaten 2 Wackies and an Inland guy. Now he's making a WCW counter.
1. Now.
And of course, we already mentioned how many folks have done running for, so we'll keep an eye on it and see who's going to do a run in here. So let's establish a tag team. Schiavone getting the edge on Adam. I guess, and here comes Cowboy. Cowboy's coming in to help Adam. Another round
1.
with a run-in. Fortunately, Adam did not run in Cowboy's match, so there's not going to be a tag team yet. But now, the odds are even. Well, unless Tony Schiavone calls for a run-in of his own. And so, Cowboy, who probably wants to get revenge for Jamie DeLearn losing to Larry Zbyszko, is now trying to take out another announcer. And now Schiavone in trouble, thanks to Cowboy. Mind games, maybe. Schiavone doesn't try to get his life back. Comeback. One of those wrestlers I would want to sub out and give him an actual wrestler model that I can maybe replace and make a job about it. For one, like the Saturday night contender on there, like the Bobby Blades or something in as like that. The Barbarian is coming out to help Tony Schiavone. Not a established tag team, but he's now got a contention because Bobby Barbarian got eliminated in the last round, so that's not going to help us coach. The Barbarian got knocked out early in the tournament. He lost the fire.
The Barbarian's in control.
And Schiavone wins it. He goes behind. Makes that Adam The momentum continues, and it will be Tony Schiavone against Veal in the next round. How about that? Uh-oh. I don't know why my work is all script is giving me punch. As we go into our next match, our lone Nitro girl still in competition, and that is Fire, trying to keep her fire burning, and she's going to take on Psychosis. Dan to deliver. Yeah. Adamant. Yeah, you could have done this with WCW Rebook. Yeah, I know, but I mean, I know there's definitely you could do this with WCW Rebook. I know that some of those games, like, I like that, you know, I know it's like the good game, obviously. It's not, that's the key. WWE games are always better, unfortunately. But it's like, I wish these WCW games could get some sort of similar love. Fair game. I mean, they're doing some work on Def Jam Vendetta. I mean, Def Jam Vendetta, we can finally now do a what if of WCW Mayhem 2. I know that's been worked on that's something being worked on making an editor for Def Jam Vendetta. And like that would be something that would definitely be in the cards to do with a WCW Mayhem 2 what if. Because I know there definitely were several talents that were going to be in that game by the video preview, whether it be Jeff Jarrett, Booker T, Goldberg, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, Sid Vicious, Buff Bagwell, and Dan Piero. There's got to be more to it. I would like to see if I could put just as many wrestlers as Backstage Assault into the Mayhem 2, into Def Jam Vendetta. So you could do 58 wrestlers and maybe have, you know, sub out some of the folks that were gone by the time of this certain roster, like Hogan and Scott Hall and Ruff Harkin, were like all gone from the cover. Mona as well. I mean, and that's the other thing is like some of these games, like even like I know a lot of people like as much as we all love the hockey games. Most of the time when you're using a WWE game, and that's why I'm not really a fan of like the WWE 2K games, is the modding is kind of like it feels unnatural. I'm just like, I mean, there's a lot of other things to it, and I'm just like, I'd rather keep some sort of authenticity. Like, I don't want to play a WCW mod with WWE announcers and WWE things to it. I want there to be a little WCW show. Schiavone, you know, Renee, Keenan, Zabisco, Scott Hudson, Lee Marshall, you know, Justin and who was there. Joseph, Mark Madden. I don't really want to have, you know, Michael Cole and, you know, Corey Graves on WCW. It doesn't really matter. Having, you know, the ring announcers of WWE. Stevie Ray coming in. Who is Stevie Ray helping them? Stevie Ray is helping Psychosis. They got knocked out in the first round. Now getting to help out one of his own WCW. Keeping the Jackson check. It's on like neck bones. Like he says, he's got a Nitro rings. I think his finisher is the 7-year itch to Shooting Star Plate. Kidman's one. Some of these folks do have the top locals, and I don't think you've ever seen anyone use their top local finishers. Like Savage doing the flying elbow drop, or Eddie doing the frog splash, or Kidman doing the 7-year itch, or Booker T doing Harlem Hanging. It's kind of a hard thing to see. You gotta watch out, the countdout's coming. The ghost gets in, fire gets in. Almost time for fire to call on running.
1,
Too late. The ghost is dancing on. Two points for psychosis. And the Nitro Girls are now out. Fortunately, the ladies are out of the tournament, and they will all have to wait until the next round when we do the U.S. Heavyweight title. Now we've got our Inlander versus the Horseman. As Zumi, trying to keep the Inland crew alive, other than Veal, takes on the last of the Horsemen, still in the Iceman. So yeah, right now it's just we got one Horseman left. We've got one Flock member left. We've got two Wolfpack members left. We've got an Inlander left in the form of Theo. I.e. that was loose. And we have actually one Wacky left, I do believe. Yes, we have one Wacky left, and that is the Chief. He's going to have to take on the Macho Man. So that's going to be kind of a... Well, we still have two Wolfpack members left. Katonia's got to come up next against Reese. Now, Malenko is not going to be able to establish a tag partner against Zumi can. Zumi can get Wrestling Mac. If Wrestling Mac does a run-in for him, that'll establish him as a tag team.
vertical suplex.
Again, I had to make sure I collect the save to make sure that in case 5 o'clock, in case you get a 5 o'clock Tony appearance, so I want to make sure that it's protected. Now, if anyone gets 5 o'clock Tony, they're going to be stuck with that as their hand. So if it turns out they do not get a tag team partner at the end of these tournaments, they will be stuck with 5 o'clock Tony. That's the only thing. The only way you can avert having to team with 5 o'clock Tony is if you establish a tag team elsewhere beforehand. But if you don't, you will have to deal with 5 o'clock Tony being your apron person of your match. Of your matches in your tag team. This definitely looks like a Saturday night match if you really look at it this way, with Zumi against Dean Malenko. This looks like something you would see probably on Saturday night when they turn on the second. Dean Malenko defending the Cruiserweight title.
One, now.
We're getting close to the count out for both of these participants. Malenko really close to the end. Zumi as well. Uh-oh. Timer scam. This better watch out for Malenko. He gets himself counted out. Timer scam backfired for Dean Malenko, and Zumi is keeping Inland alive, and the Horsemen are eliminated. I hate why Challenge keeps screwing around like that. So there is no more Horsemen in the tournament. They will all have to come back for the U.S. title. But we still get Zumi for another round, as now we go into our NWO Wolfpack versus our last Flock member, Conan versus Reese. There are still 2 Wolfpack members left in the forms of Conan and the Macho Man. But Reese is the only flock member still in. Loading video. There he is. The big man. With the first screen of him basically promoting a movie on TBS like they would do on the bumpers of Thunder at that time before they go into commercial breaks. They'd have random WCW accounts promoting TV programs and movies. Like dinner in a movie or anything of that nature. Yep, dinner in a movie. I know there'd be something to be able to put those guys in, like someone finds a way to make those Texans to put them in the game. Like, hey, we need extra spots. And now, like, okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We filled up the game with enough of the WCW talent that we're around. Let's fill some holes. Let's put some dinner and movie guys in here, bonuses. Let's put Dennis Rodman in here and Carl Malone as bonuses, and other things like that. Wow, just like that, we're getting a run in the Tacoma Forest, helping out Reese. Forest Boulder. So Reese, who had Van Hammer, now has Horace. Too bad that they are both out of the tournament, and so it does establish that potential tag team partners when we get into the U.S. title.
Horace can't be stopped!
Look out, countdown coming. You might be heading towards a countout. Well, they get back into the ring. Reese gets back in, Conan gets back in. Let's get going. Does Conan make a call? Does he make a call to the Macho Man? If he does that, then he may have a chance to have the chance to establish a tag team. If he runs into the Macho Man, but Conan's got no energy. Now Reese bang stop sign. Of course my phone's got to ring. Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes when you're home and you got the phone's got to ring, just
One.
Tell them you're gonna start showing Smokey and the Bandit for the 15th time this year. Yep, that was typical Turner. They would show it the same movie like repeated like multiple times. You know, they'd show it here, they show it one day, they show it again, they'll show it again, shoot it again overnight, they'll show it again in the morning, they'll show it again in the that's typical. Not that too much. I mean, nobody's been running for Conan yet. And he was near the end of his rope. So Reese guy. Now Conan's got the momentum back. So I thought. Get back into the ring. Not again. Trying to keep the flock going, keep the Wolfpack going, and take down the flock member. Goes for a cover again. Can't get it. Made the call use the Tequila Sunrise and try to get that's like his best bet. It could go some submission. 30 seconds, here we go. Reese trying to not a comeback. Ah, here it goes. Down the stretch.
1.
And another kick out. Reese gets out of the ring, tries to play mind games. That's gonna work with 10 seconds to go. Konnan might get the count. And it looks like it's gonna go to Konnan, and the flock is eliminated. I thought Konnan was gonna get Wolf and Mickey to protect the Silver Sunrise there like he did in the previous in the second round. But he's not gonna do it here, but not to be. But guess what? He's going on to the round of 8. So, doesn't matter for him. As now we go into our last match here in the round of 16, and it will be Wacky versus Wolfpack. As the Chief will take on the Macho Man. So there's a chance we could get a Macho and NWO Wolfpack infight if Macho Man gets around the last of the Wackies. Yeah, not complaining. Saturday night into Smokey was good viewing. Yeah, I actually never watched, I don't think I've ever watched an episode of WCW Saturday Night when it was actually still in, when it was actively holding shows. Because my household, I did not get PBS until after WCW. I got TNT, I was able to watch Nitro, I was able to watch Worldwide on my local Fox affiliate, Fox 5. Or actually that, and I think they also aired it on WWO Channel 9. But they did not, I did not get CBS, so I never watched an episode of Thunder, or an episode of Saturday Night, or Pro, or maybe I saw, no, I saw WCW Prime. I did remember watching Prime on my Prime Network affiliate, MSG and Sports Channel, but I never watched, but as far as Pro and Main Event, and then I think maybe I watched, yeah, because I was 16. I was watching a Randy Savage match in like 96, and that was actually on Prime. That was in the Pro. I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up in the page there. That Savage match. Yeah. It was like a slot match. It looked like it was held at the where they hold Pro and Main Event and stuff. But as far as Saturday night, it looks like I actually got like a tape of Nitro and Saturday Night from 96 and 97 when I saw it. And it was actually someone I knew who had a tape of Thunder, because he had Rey Mysterio versus Juventud Guerrera from like 1998 on it. That was the only match that I saw, and there was nothing else on it. So I actually, the first exposure to Thunder, really, as far as what they do in the shows, was this video game. With the FMVs. And you show the clips on Nitro, obviously, but that was really it. And Savage wins by pinfall. So the Wackies are out. And we're guaranteed a Wolfpack member in the semifinals. As the Macho Man is going to take on Konnan. And actually, if I do believe, Macho Man is the only guy left in this tournament who actually was a WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Because DDP hadn't won it yet. Savage had won it a few times when he won it he won the Battle Royal World War III, he won it back from Flair, then he won it from Sting at Spring Stampede. But we're going into our quarterfinals, as it will be Larry Zbyszko and DDP in a WCW infight. So we'll actually get to see a DDP FMB this time. The Smells Like Teen Spirit knockoff. Now Larry Zbyszko's entrance music really was the Nitro theme when he was wrestling at Starrcade and at Sold Out. He had his two matches. They just gave him the Nitro theme. Now obviously they didn't have that here because it's not Nitro. So now it's WCW. We have a WCW in-fight. We have a Wolfpack in-fight. We've got WCW versus and we have WCW versus Inland are the other two matches. So, interestingly enough, we've got 2 in-fights and 2 WCW versus Inland matches here in the round of 8. And only 2 that would become World Heavyweight Champions, that either were World Heavyweight Champions or would become World Heavyweight Champions. DDP would have to wait until April of '99 at Spring Stampede to win World Heavyweight title. And then Randy Savage, who had won the World Heavyweight title 3 times, including winning it at Spring Stampede '98. And he would also win it one more time at Bash of the Beach 90. He would win it one more time at Bash of the Beach '99. So it wasn't over yet for the Macho Man as far as World Heavyweight title reigns is concerned. So they got to watch out. The countdout's coming. Timer scan trick for DDP to take out Larry Zbyszko. Answer is no. They both got in at 8:19. Tremendous. We got a match there. Thought we would be mid timer scan and DDP is going to have an easy victory, but that's not going to happen yet. Zbyszko still needs to pull some run-ins to maybe have a shot to get a tag team. Here from Larry Zbyszko, head business from DDP. Now, if Theo loses, then maybe I will. Obviously, he will. Then maybe I'll keep the. I'll leave the champions in. We'll see what happens. But if Theo loses, if Theo wins the whole thing, I'm definitely omitting him because he's just too strong. You don't want to have him hoard all the belts. They could be earned. Like, I guess maybe Hogan would have to be the one to knock him off. That's just wishful. Or Goldberg or some big hitter. Nash or something. Stinger or someone like that. Someone with a lot of stuff. Flair. Someone will have to take that. Giant is the list. Now he does the in Nitro. He does not have the Bang voicing because he was still kind of the cigar chopping, brash, heel, kind of turning babyface because he was fighting with the NWO. But he wasn't still the Bang, the People's Champion yet. Because that game, it pretty much everything started being filmed was like beginning of '97. Who is it? Sonny Ono. Sonny Ono is coming in to help DDP. There are plenty of folks that come in to help him. Zbyszko, as we mentioned ad nauseum in this stream. So who knows what can happen? I was toying with wanting to play the rants again, but I'm usually going to do that with like the first round. And once we cycle through that, so like if I do like I did last time where I got the first round and I only completed so much and I completed the rest of it and everybody else that came around afterwards, then I would play the rings. That's the only time I will. Now I am trying to figure out how to. Who's coming in for DDP? Larry Zbyszko? No, it's Tony Schiavone.
Pile driver.
Schiavone is coming in to help Larry Zbyszko.
The friggin' Vader.
Unfortunately, Tony Schiavone did not have Zbyszko do a run-in for him. As the counter coming, and Larry Zbyszko takes the upset from DDP. Larry Zbyszko, who made it all the way to the quarterfinals in the Melly tournament, is making it to the semifinals here as a shot at the World Heavyweight title, taking out DDP. Tony Schiavone, who incidentally enough is still in this tournament. So, the funny thing is, as a matter of fact, the next match that is going to be in store will be Veal against make sure I say because it's an Inlander against, ironically enough, who just came out to a run-in and helped Larry Zbyszko defeat DDP, the big juggernaut that is Tony Schiavone. He was ready to go. You got 20 minutes left in you? Well, we're almost there. We're getting there. I'm hoping that we can get this done in 20 minutes. I'm hoping that I don't have to cut this show off before too long. We're in the 2-hour mark. We're basically keeping an eye on things to make sure that we can get it all in the books. But it's going to come down to Tony Schiavone. If nobody else could stop it, we've seen so many that have fallen to Veal. We've seen Gorilla, we've seen Sargent, we've seen Mantis, we've seen Jimmy Hart. All of them could not stop this monster. But can the man who beat the Hulkster be the one to beat the Veal? Well, if you beat Hulk Hogan and got, even if it's by a count out, you better be able to beat Veal. Or else, I don't know what to tell you as far as this company is concerned. That glitch nightmare. Who is that, Sonny? Oh no! Coming out to help Tony Schiavone. Sonny Ono helped that DDP is now coming out to help Tony Schiavone. Unfortunately, Sonny Ono is not going to be Tony Schiavone's partner yet because he did not have Schiavone help him at all during their match. We won't find out any answer until we get to the U.S. title. We're now trying to wear down the Veal. The duo of Schiavone and Sonny. Tony and Sonny. Tony and Sonny connection. Veal's getting out of there. That's not a good sign for Tony Schiavone. He's got no help. He's going to need to mount an offense of grand proportion. We're going to have to hope that Veal throws him over the top rope and he can find the left and take advantage of it, and it's not going to work. Veal wins again. Veal takes down Tony Schiavone. Sonny Ono would not help him. Another win for Veal. And he goes to the round of 8. So now we have an Inlander against the WCW talent, and now we've got one more Inlander versus WCW talent matchup right here. And that will feature, as my challenge continues to have its glitches, it'll feature Psychosis against Zumi. I think, as it stands right now, I'm probably going to stick with this current format for the semifinals. and then I'm going to bump it up to 10, and then I'm going to bump it up to 10 minutes and 60-second ring out for the farm. I just don't know if I'm going to push too much time on things. I want to make sure, in case I don't want to have to feel like, uh-oh, I got to end the stream just like I did the first stream. I want to be able to finish, if I can finish this, it would be great. Finish it on my own terms.
Yeah.
And then start planning ahead for tournament number 2. Whenever that may be.
Yeah.
Here comes the running. Who is it? Chicken Boy. Is that Chicken Boy? Or is that Benji? Can't really see the shirt. It's Benji. Benji's coming in to help Zoomy. Benji got knocked out in the second round. He's now trying to help Zoomy advance to round to 4. This Rick Steiner is coming in to help Psychosis. For the second time we're seeing Rick Steiner do a run in. I don't know if this is it. Now I think Zoomy is becoming the fan favorite. The Inlander, because Rick Steiner is helping out Psychosis. Fighting off Rick Steiner. Like you thought you got rid of all the heels by Rick Steiner losing to Kurt Hennig early on. As he said, I'm back. And he's doing the running.
Taking a beating.
At least you know you won't get any Flair or Hogan run-ins here. That's the one thing you are guaranteed is you're not going to see any Hogans or Flair. Well, nice to see Jericho because they're in WCW talent still ending the formularies for this. The Psychosis survives this match. Now that he's got the momentum in his favor thanks to Rick Steiner.
1, 2.
And nope, Zoomy's kicked out. One of the 2 Inlanders still left in, the other one is an Austin. Actually, the one true Inlander. The other one, this is virtually Andy and Nitro. Zoommy trying to get back in. Coming to stretch. Psychosis. And turn in favor is Zoomy. By Psychosis. They get back in the ring. They both get back in the ring. We still got a man. Dust. Arcane. No luck. There's 30 seconds left. Frankenstein. Go for a pin. Nothing else. Nope. A lot of work is in there. 6 seconds. Tequila Sunrise. Goes for the submission at the bell. Yeah, we're gonna. That's not gonna. What about submission? I don't know if that probably will is going to count as a decision by the bell. If he would have applied that about a few seconds earlier, he would have got the 3-pointer. So unfortunately, by default, Psychosis will get the count out the count out, not the count out, but the 1 point decision victory. As we go into our last match of this quarterfinals, and it's an NWO Wolfpack infight. Conan and the Macho Man. This possibly will, and right now as it stands, we're going to have at least one more match with a FMV intro because Psychosis has got one and these two got him. Unless Larry Zbyszko can overthrow the monster that is Veal. The last, there's 2 WWE still in. Got a Wolfpack one that will join them.
Vertical suplex.
Now, Macho Man's taunt, he does not have the "ooh yeah" voice sample. He has that in Nitro. He has that in Nitro for the PlayStation, for the 64 and Play PC. But for some reason, they omitted it here.
One. Now.
They keep the Giants blunt.
Wild driver.
Things rude.
One. Now.
They add Rick Steiner's barking. But they also got rid of Ric Flair. And obviously Ric Flair, they made him last minute, so they couldn't even put the rules in.
Now. One. Now.
Unfortunately, neither of these two did run-ins for each other, so they could ask some candidates that maybe one could get Sting or Luger or Kevin Nash to do a run. And set the tone for the next game. For the next tournament.
Luger.
Here comes Lex Luger. Who is Luger going to help? Luger is helping Conan. Interestingly enough, Luger helped the Macho Man in the first round. And Conan is going to take down Macho Man. So no World Heavyweight Champions are left in this tournament. Because DDP lost, and now Savage lost. So it will be Conan versus Psychosis in the semifinals. So we're going to have a new World Heavyweight Champion. As we go into our semifinals, we are down to 4. It took us 3 streams to do this and about 8 hours. And now we are down to 4 and 3 more matches to go, and hopefully we can get them all in. As Larry Zbyszko for WCW takes on the monster that is Veal, as I'm going to save this, even though it's Veal, and he doesn't usually need a run-in, because he don't need no stinking run-ins, unless you could get him with a weapon and just beat him pillar to post. Okay, I'll see you, WrestleDev. Be sure to check out the stream here on Twitch, the VOD, and then of course the VOD on YouTube, and of course it'll be up on YouTube a week later. I usually have the YouTube video set for the day that the VOD is going to leave Twitch.
One. Now.
So can Larry Zbyszko be the one to stop Veal? Zbyszko might need to play one of his running cards. He wants to win it all. Zbyszko now using the trick that usually worked for Stevie Ray, and that is get him out of the ring. It didn't work. Veal got himself back in. Couldn't get much offense on quick enough. But he's trying to give him a fight, give him credit. He just has to make sure he gets him out of the ring, grab a weapon, and just go nuts. He wants to have any chance of toppling the monster.
One. Now. One. Now.
And here comes Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart is coming to the aid of Larry Zbyszko. Wants revenge on Veal, and he's going to use a bat if he has to use. And he can use a baseball bat. It didn't work the way he wanted to, though. Unfortunately, Zbyszko did not do a run-in for Jimmy Hart, so they're not a tag team yet.
Power bomb.
Head scissors. Head scissors. They're trying to gang up on Veal. They know this is how it's got to be. Trying to wear down the monster. Can it happen? I'm amazed Zbyszko hasn't taken advantage of 20. Here he goes. Zbyszko's going to try to make some odds, make up some ground. But he's got a long ways to go. It's not over yet. Here, a choke slam. Good night for Veal and Larry Zbyszko. He's in trouble now.
1, 2, 3.
Veal, once again, can't be stopped. Larry Zbyszko had a shot. He gave it his all, but it was not to be. And Veal, one step closer to ultimate conquest. And that'll mean that this next match will be the last time we will get an FMV sequence, as the other semifinal will feature WCW versus NWO Wolfpack. And it's a normal, and you could say it's pretty much a normal match as well, because these two have had many, many wars all over, especially in the United States and in Mexico, and that is Psicosis versus Conan.
There. 1. Now. 1. Now.
Coach is the only one that still has a chance to establish a tag team. We have not established any tag teams since Lady Hot and Silver Steel in our last video. We could get the Barbarian.
One.
We could get Ultimo Dragon. Two are basically the top candidates
One.
that Psychosis can get. I can't get anybody because the only guys that Conan has had run-ins, but has not had gun run-ins on any of their matches. From this Wolfpack Brothers.
Vertical suplex.
Luger, Sting, Kevin Nash did not get run. Psychosis is in trouble. It's going to be time for him to call a run. And incidentally, both these guys do have this Killer Sunrise as their finishing. But the saw Psychosis and by finish off,
One.
Zumi with the Killer Sunrise because the time ran out. And he would have gotten a 3-point submission victory had he would have applied it about a few seconds early.
One.
Looks like Psychosis will call for running. And Conan wins it. Psychosis does not proceed here. Dominating performance by Conan. As that will decide our stage set for our final. As it will be Conan versus Veal in the final round. But first, let me go here. Let me change this to a 10-minute time limit. Change this to, got something to a 60-second ring out. And go from there. So now, here is our final for the World Heavyweight title. There's only one person can Veal pull off the ultimate domination, being all in the green, or will Conan get the upset? And unfortunately, with a 60-second time limit, a 60-second ring out, you're gonna have your work cut out. This is not something that you want to have if you're Veal, if you're Conan. That's the only thing I can say about this. It's been dominant entire tournament. I might have to set night leader for him if this is going to be the case, if we have to back him on. But if he's like the opposite 5 o'clock Tony, can't do anything, Veal's done everything. And he is basically wiping the floor with Tony. Conan's going to have to call a run-in at some point. How is it that Veal has just been so dominant and he wins this one and I can't believe it. Get it for a 10-minute time limit, 30-60 seconds. You might as well just set it at 3 minutes and that be that. Anticlimactic as all hell. But Veal is now your World Heavyweight Champion. Now I can reset everything back to where it was. And officially, well, it happened. Here is your winner. Here is your new World Heavyweight Champion, Veal. And by that, he will not be eligible for any other tournaments. So now I'll end the tournament on challenge, and it'll determine our winner. Veal, dominating. Conan was second. Larry Zbyszko and Psychosis were tied for third. Then DDP, Zumi, Randy Savage, and Tony Schiavone Dean Malenko, The Chief, Jimmy Hart, Reese, Adam, Johnny Grunge, Fire, Jamie DeLearn. Pretty much that's that. So we now know our World Heavyweight Champion is Veal, which means that he will not be eligible for the US or TV title tournaments. And that also means that by him being eliminated, 5 o'clock Tony will also be eliminated from the US title tournament. Because we already got ourselves we might as well just give buys automatically, because basically it would be a buy anyways. Why have someone just randomly get 5 o'clock Tony? So that's where we're going to stand as far as our US heavyweight title tournament. But Veal is the World Heavyweight Champion. We're going to have to figure out who is going to be able to stop him once we actually start our sim season. So, with that being said, that'll conclude our WCW World Heavyweight Title Tournament on Thunder. I will be posting this. This will be on Twitch for a week. Then the VOD will go to YouTube, and you get to watch the whole thing unfold. And, well, we'll work on when I'm going to figure out when I'm going to start the US Heavyweight Title Tournament. But everybody who's got run-ins in the last matches will all get carryover to the next tournaments. So there's always a chance we can start filling up tag teams there with a lot of the folks that have been accumulating potential partners. So we'll see who's going to join Sanders Keel and Leland Ma as a tag team. And so with that, that'll conclude the stream. And be back around soon. Be sure to check out my Blue Sky Wrestle Sim and the YouTube channel as well. You could check everything out there. And we'll catch you all around. Thank you all for joining me these last few streams, and back with the US title tournament. And I'm going to try to work on also making that Saturday night arena into a Nitro arena or something of that sort, with what textures I can get. But we'll catch you all around.